Welcome back to the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Certainly glad you tune in. This segment brought to you by Great Southern Bank. Great Southern Bank with more than 100 locations in 6 states. Member FDIC. Also brought to you by Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks. Grant Baker Shelter Insurance Agent in Aurora, Missouri. Laborers Local 663 reminds us, hey, be careful in those work zones. Let everyone go home tonight. And the Bank of Billings and Doak Propane. We're certainly glad here on the basketball preview to welcome Licking High School head girls basketball coach Stephen Rissler to the show. And Coach Rissler, thanks for your time today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Guy. I appreciate it.
You bet, Coach. 118-31 over the last 5 seasons, 18-9 a year ago, a trip to the championship game a couple of years ago. What have you got to replace that you lost to graduation? Who's going to fill those shoes, and what have you got coming back?
Yeah, we returned 4 starters and 7 lettermen overall. We graduated 2. One, Tommy Rose. She was a 4-man off the bench. She was a good rebounder. She had some, she brought some stuff that the other girls couldn't do off the bench. She was a really good offensive rebounder. And then our other player was a 4-year starter, Anna Solons. And, she did a little bit of everything. She was our leading rebounder 2 or 3 years in a row. She handled the ball. She knew all of our stuff. So she could do, play any spot I needed her to do. So, yeah, it'll be tough to replace them. But, I like the group we have coming back. We have 3 seniors and 2 Kylies. Kylie Taylor is a 4-year starter at point guard. And she's seen it all. She's been to 2 Final Fours, 3 district championships. So there's not much more pressure she could take. So she should be prepared to have she's having a good volleyball season. So I think she's really going to have a good year. And then Kylie Ingram is a 6-footer. They're all playing volleyball right now. So they're rolling. We may get a late start too. They got that 1 seed in that district. And the other senior is Winter Murray. She was kind of our X factor last year. She's 5'9", 5'10", wing. And, she had a couple games where she was unconscious. I think one was against Hollister and maybe Rolla, and one was against Salem. Yeah, against Salem there. She saved us. So you just never know. And then got a really good junior class, Abby Solons. She gets a lot of the press. She's our leading scorer returning. Great athlete. Left-handed shooter. As a freshman, she had a game where she hit 7 threes in the first half of a game. She had a lot of big shots for us last year. Macy Sparks is this will be her 3rd year on varsity. And, she's ready to have a breakout season. Great rebounding guard for us. And she's our backup, ball handler. And then Kata Cook. I think Kate is really going to surprise some people this year. She's a true 5-post, but she also shoots it. Actually, this summer, she was our best shooter. We run a system where everybody's green lighted until I have to tell them not to shoot anymore. So she takes advantage of it. Usually the other 5-men guarding her don't come all the way out. So, she's been in the weight room hard. She's the only one that doesn't play volleyball. So, and then we've got a girl come in. She'll be a much bigger factor this year. Hannah Medlock will be a sophomore. And her coming out party last year, she was mostly JV until we played Stratford, in late December, and she scored 20 on them. And then everybody was looking at me like, why isn't she getting to play? So I started playing her, and she had a really good year. And this summer, she can just flat shoot. I've got some girls that can just shoot the basketball. We really focus on our offensive side of the ball. I know that's not very popular, among coaches, but it's fun to coach that way, and the girls love it. So, yeah, we try to bend, don't break on defense, like the old Dick Vermeil style with the Chiefs. Try to score 40, and so it should be a really fun year. Those 7 girls have really played a lot together, and they're winning in volleyball right now, and it just feels good. It feels like there's a good vibe. Like something was off last year. With COVID actually adjusting to not having Carly Holland was pretty big. So, and Carly's doing her thing down at 3 Rivers. I got wind earlier this week that she thinks she's going to be the starting 3-man on that team. And they were in the Final Four last year. But back to this, I've got a really good freshman group that I really like. And they're deep. and they're all about the same size, but they just get after. They've got a lot of grit, and they're tough mentally. A couple of the dads, coached them coming up, and they coached them, they coached them really hard, and they really, really focused on defense. So now all I got to do is, get them shooting to fit in with us. And they really did a good job this summer, because I played my freshman against other varsities, and we went 1-7, but 5 of those games we lost in sudden death overtime. So, it got old losing, but, I think they really grew. So I think our practices are going to be competitive, and, we've got the size, the depth, and but really, we need some luck of the draw, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When the districts come out, the 2 big names I think that everybody's looking at is Miller and Stratford on the girls. That's going to change the future for a lot of people. So yeah, but either way, in El Dorado Springs too, I've heard they're on the bubble, and they're going to be freaking good too. So, if they stay Class 4 or come down, we'll just have to deal with it. And we went the Boot Hill route sometimes, and then we'll come back through, and Skyline will be there, and Tipton. It just depends on where we get put. But I really think we have a shot to make a deep run this year, no matter where Misha puts us. So,
You bet. Again, we're visiting with Licking High School girls basketball coach Steve Rissler. And Coach, talk a little bit about your schedule this year. I know you've got some tough tournaments you're in, maybe at Logan Rogersville, Rolla.
Yeah.
What does your schedule look like this year as far as the toughness of it?
Yeah, well, we're in the Rolla Holiday Tournament, and Rockbridge got invited to a national tournament, so they're gone. So that kind of opens it up. So Rolla's in there, Fatima, a couple school, Lutheran North, I believe, is in it. Maybe some Benton. There's some schools from St. Joe, I think. So I like our chances in it. If you can get 2 wins in that tournament. I got PE kids in here now, but yeah, if you can get 2 wins in that tournament, it'd be really good for us. We still play St. James, Thayer. This year we go to Richland. We also go to Crocker. Those are 2 teams in the conference that I think. Oh, and we go to Newburgh. So I think those 3 on the road games are. If you've ever been to a smaller school conference, when you go on the road, it's hard to win. It's kind of like NAIA basketball. Yeah. It's hard to win on the road. I don't care, what the records are and things like that. But yeah, we're in the Frisco League tournament to start the year, and then we go to that Rogersville tournament with, Stratford and Raj and Webb City. Hollister was in there. Central, Sparta was in there. So yeah, we went 1-2 last year, and I thought we played pretty well. We got a win over Sparta, close loss to Rolla, and a close loss to Hollister. So
yeah, very good. Very good. As you look at that Frisco League, I always enjoy seeing those scores, come in and kind of handicap that. You've got some teams maybe a little bit better than they were last year.
I think Crocker is going to be one of those teams, and I think Newburgh returns their 2 best kids, and they've been really good since they're freshmen. Their senior class is good, and then they added that freshman, Kayla Coughlin. And if you haven't heard of her, you will, because she can score. She plays, year round. She's a great athlete, plays all sports, but she's going to be a name, so like a Carly Holland or Alexa Willard, somebody like that. That's how good I think she is. But she's still a freshman, so hopefully we can get her, while she's a freshman. But so Crocker's got a good transfer from Plato and Kelsey Todd. So, Rich Mueller down there, he's gonna have them ready to go, and they play really hard, and they're one of those teams that really focus on being grimy and gritty and taking charges. Every time you drive to the rim, somebody's sliding over to take a charge. I think he had a girl take like 30 charges last year. She's going for the state record for career, I believe, and she'll be a senior. So, yeah. But if our district stays the same, Steelville's lost 2 of their top 3 girls, and their coach, he went to Osceola. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. He didn't plan on coaching basketball, to be honest, but they asked him to, so he was going to do football and baseball, but so who knows? Kabul's got a really good girl, that Haley Shannon girl, and then I don't, it just depends on where we get. I've seen some crazy districts. Like last year, Jeff City, Elias, Rolla, and West Plains were all in the same district.
Yeah, that's the rhyme and reason sometimes confuses me on some of those things. I know my daughter played at Bolivar and she was in a district in Kansas City.
Oh, yeah, they went that north. Wow.
Yeah, and to drive 2.5 hours every night, just during that district week. But anyway, when do you guys kind of get started? You talked about volleyball, may delay a little bit, but once the start date, and then we're just around the corner from it.
Yeah, our junior high team starts practice on Monday, and then, our girls, they are the 1 seed. I think it'll be tough to win that district. They've split with the 2 seed, and the 3 seeds Mountain View Liberty, and in volleyball, they're legit, really well coached. And so if it does happen, and they host the sectional and something happens, we might be a week behind. But the last time we were a week behind, we ended up making it to the Final Four. So it just makes it hard early. So I kind of knew that they were going to be good. So I moved St. James off of that first game, because I didn't want, Terry Wells to have an advantage over me, because we battled. And so we usually open the season, which is, high risk, high reward for both of us. But, we've been able to win that like 5 years in a row, but they've been freaking barn burners. So we pushed that game back to middle of January. And we actually moved Cuba into that spot. Nothing against that, but, I think we'll be all right.
All right. Very good. Very good. Well, Coach Rissler, I certainly appreciate you being generous with your time here on the Missouri Sports Network. And this segment brought to you by Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks and MissouriSports.com, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Hey, have a great day. And I know we'll talk throughout the season, but I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, guy.
Oh, you bet.